Hi y'all, it's the end of the month, so you know what that means. It's time for a tour of my little daily journal. If you're new here, I'm Reb. I'm an artist based in Texas, and I do a lot of doodling and drawing and lino cutting. If you haven't subscribed to my channel and some of that sounds interesting to you, subscribe so you can see more. Alright, let's get into this. Alright, so this is my daily journal. At the beginning of the year, I started drawing daily drawings in my visual journal of just like things that are happening in my life. This month has a little bit of overlap because the end of the month happened right in smack dab in the middle of my vacation. So we'll pick up kind of right where we left off, which was the end of my vacation. If you haven't seen that video, I'll put a little info card up in the corner so that you could go and check that out as well. So yeah, we went to Mexico with my family, and the first day of the month was the trip back. The flight was relatively uneventful, but Spirit Airlines did lose our stroller. We have since gotten it back, but that did not help us with the, hour and a half, almost 2 hour customs line, and yeah, just getting through the airport in general with the toddler. Very happy to be home to see our little puppy girl. Obviously, she was happy to see us too. Next day was just kind of catching up on all the things that you don't do while you're on vacation, which, cleaning, laundry, all that stuff. I try to do some of that kind of thing before I leave so that I don't have much to do, but there's always a lot to do. But my son was being super cute and helpful with helping with the vacuuming and the chicken coop. So I thought that was pretty awesome. Next day was first day back to work. A lot of emails to catch up on after vacation. I pretty much spent the entire day doing that, so I ended up splitting this day because literally there was like not much going on. The next day was work from home and pretty much the same thing, so that's why this is kind of a mirror image. I will say that King of the Hill new season started, and that was amazing. But yeah, feeling very Bill at the beginning on that day. Day after that, I was just super tired. My toddler, unfortunately, was not tired and had just way too much energy, so we ended up going to a playground and then running the rest of our like usual errands. Day after that, we just kind of watched the rain in the morning, and then when I sent my toddler off to daycare, we did a lot of cleaning and sorting and recycling. So day after that, I was at work, and then later it was art hang party. And when I got home, my son, I guess, was running around the field that they had just mowed, and his feet were so green, like so incredibly green. Um, and I'm sure other people will probably care about that, but I just thought it was amazing. So that's why it's in my sketchbook. Next day, I got my zine swap mail. I did a little zine swap with Teresa and Kat, and their zines were so cute, and they sent so many cute little extras. I was so happy. Then I worked on some sticker designs and just called it an early night. I'd been a little under the weather and finally was feeling better enough to like sleep back in the bed with everybody, and yeah, everything just felt so much better. The next day, I went out of my comfort zone and met up with some urban sketchers in the area. They were doing a coffee crawl, and they were going to like all of my favorite coffee shops. So I thought, what better opportunity would it be to like join up with them and also bonus get some delicious coffee and pastries. So yeah, we did some drawing. I did actually talk to some people IRL, which as an introvert is difficult. They were so incredibly nice, and at the very end we had a little show and tell, which was really fun. And then the rest of the day was just kind of the usual, chasing down a toddler shenanigans. Next day, I was with my little guy. I worked on some new stickers, and we did a live session with Hippo, which was really fun. It was on America. She picked some great references. None of them were a dumpster fire. Thank you, Hippo. And yeah, sorry for the TMI, but yeah, my period was out of control. The following day, when we picked up my son from daycare, we found out that he had given somebody a black eye in the cutest way possible, which was they were so excited to see each other that they ran straight into each other. Everybody involved is okay, but we did definitely send a little sorry card to the parents because it was a real black eye. Next day was just kind of the usual, cleaning, groceries, and just playing with toys basically. Day after that, I was having a, I don't know, tech nightmare with my editing software and all of that. And at one point, I just ended up giving up and doing arts and crafts with my son because I could not. The day after that was Thursday, the 14th, and it was my YouTube 1 year anniversary, which was really cool. I can't believe that a whole year has gone by. It's crazy. I did actually have to work that day. I should have taken the day off just to celebrate, but I didn't think about that in enough time to do it. So, but we did have an art hang party later. That was super fun. And then I was playing with my son, and he kept asking me to be a cactus so that he could chop me down with his chainsaw, which I thought was kind of funny. Oh, if you haven't seen the YouTube anniversary video, I will also put a card so you can watch it. Next day, I woke up just kind of anxious, so I decided to just take myself on a little art date. I went to one of my favorite restaurants to have lunch, took my sketchbook with me, did some very silly drawings, some drawings for a sticker that I just made. And when I got home, I just called it a night early. The day after that, I had to work late, but we did some cool arts and crafts, so that was fun. I got home and my boyfriend had pizza ready, which was amazing. And then my son had to show me his new books, which he was super excited about, and they are actually very cool.
Look at that.
They're like pop-up
What is that?
ocean scenes and
I
stuff.
think that might be like
I'll
an eel.
put a little video if I can find it. The day after that was Sunday, and I couldn't decide what I wanted to draw that morning, so I used my little dice to just help me choose. And that was pretty fun. We had a drawing session with Hippo, which I thought was really funny because at one point her screen flashed and it was like a bunch of windows within windows within windows, and it looked like we were getting sucked into a black hole. Um, the references that she chose were super cool. One of the fish looked like Steve, which made me laugh. And then when I got home, I realized that my son was getting sick again. This year, we started daycare, and it has been a little bit of a nightmare as far as getting sick goes, which I guess is to be expected from everything that I've heard. Next day, everybody was just kind of chilling out. but I did do some cleaning and stuff. I was pretty tired, but Melissa Martin's friends made a little playlist for me with some really good Cuban music, which was awesome, and it really helped kind of perk me up. Day after that, we were just chilling at the house. We went to the doctor because my son was still feeling kind of sick. And, they give him like a little breathing treatment at the office and then sent us home with more stuff to do more breathing treatments. And for whatever reason, the doctor's office, he was totally fine with doing it, but at home it was a struggle. So, pretty tired the next day, not sleeping well because baby's sick. That's kind of how it goes. I did go for a walk, and I did see some cool stuff, but I still just was feeling really like not doing anything and just sank into my bed and doom scrolled. Not the best choice, but sometimes that's just how it goes. Day after that, I had a doctor's appointment. My blood pressure was like so high. I guess I've just been not sleeping, was feeling a little stressed. But we did have art hang party. It was summer treats. Everybody drew this really silly picture of my son with watermelon all over his face, which just made me so happy. And then when I got home, um, yeah, my son was a wild mess, just running around, bouncing off the walls. Bath time, everybody took a bath because there was so much splashing happening. But luckily, he tuckered himself out and finally went to sleep. The next day, I was pretty tired because I went to sleep so late. So it was definitely a go get coffee kind of day. But I also made a little pit stop at a little art store. And yeah, it was really nice. The day after that, I went back to the art store, a different one, my favorite one, really. And just picked up a couple more things that I actually was like looking for. And then my son and I kind of played around outside while my boyfriend did some yard work. We went texture foraging and also played in the grass. The next day, I finished a audiobook that I had started during one of Blue Shine Art's live morning lives. She was talking about this book that she was reading, not the same book that I was reading, but it mentioned an artist that I really love, like one of my favorite artists. And one of the people in the live mentioned a book. So I looked that book up and downloaded it, through Livy, I think. And man, that book was really good. It was a really kind of interesting, sometimes funny, sometimes infuriating um, view of the life of Ana Mendieta, which is one of my, like I said, favorite artists. And yeah, I really liked it. So drew a little ode to her, and later on we did live session with Hippo. It was film stills. She picked some great references, some of my favorite movies. And then after that, we just played in the garden, and I was chasing my son with some leeks that I had just pulled out of the ground. Which, by the way, I made like a potato leek soup, and it was delicious. Day after that was just cleaning. It was a work from home day, so combo working from home and cleaning. I was sending off some mail. My son was running around doing lawn mowing. That's a terrible drawing of my son. Sometimes I do these without any pencil drawing underneath, and yeah, I feel like sometimes you can tell. We were playing in the grass with the new puppy that's on our property, and yeah, it was just a little fun morning. And then I picked the winner for my giveaway for my 1 year anniversary. The day after that, we went to go and see my mother-in-law, but she gave me like a partial address and we ended up in the completely wrong place twice. So, yeah, when you live out in the country, you can't just tell people farm road this or that because the maps just don't know how to like properly direct you to those places. So, we ended up just going and getting some, not coffee because it wasn't coffee, it was like hibiscus tea, but to a coffee shop and doing some sketching and just kind of the usual like groceries and things like that. Day after that, my son was in daycare, so me and my boyfriend went and did errands. And then we came home and just played out in the field. My son was driving around his little four-wheeler, and the little new puppy was chasing him, and it was really cute. After that was another Thursday. I met up with my friend, and we got pizza and coffee. And then we did art hang party. But I also did a couple images from Visual Passage, I think Drawing Hive. They had some really kind of fun images, so I kind of combined the two to some very silly effect. Next morning, I woke up feeling kind of, well, always feeling a little angry about what's going on in the world, but just wanting to, I don't know, put it on paper, I guess. So I made a little funny drawing of some soup. Went to work, and it was just a typical work day, bunch of meetings, forms, all kinds of stuff like that. Went to sleep feeling restless and ended up waking up super early. But all of that was resolved because I ended up having an art date with my bestie. We played with like some cyanotype paper that he had made. He is a cyanotype artist. I'll put a link to his Instagram in the description. And then we had lunch with our other friends and made a little pit stop to the art store. I didn't really need anything, but we all just hung out in the art store because why not? I did pick up a couple pens and some replacement liquid frisket because the liquid frisket that I have was all weird and clumpy. And then that's the last day of the month. I ended up taking my son with me. We just, played around in the office. He saw his little friend and we watched some cartoons in the office and then we came home. So, a very chill, kind of fun day. And yeah, that's the end of the little sketchbook. I've got another probably 2 months in here. I'm trying to figure out what I want to try this month. Each month I kind of change the material that I'm using. So this one was just Derwent Inktense pencils. The time before that was a black brush marker. And I don't know what I'm going to do for the rest of for this month. So I don't know. Help me decide in the comments below. What should I draw with? So before we wrap up this video, I wanted to share this new thing that I wanted to do. It is called Four Favorites, and it's just kind of like a little recap of the month, mostly for myself, but I thought you guys might get a kick out of it. So I chose 4 topics, and I'm just going to write this in, the 4 like favorite things. So first one is funniest thing that happened, and I think for that one, it would have to be the incident. That's when my son and his little bestie ran into each other. I don't know if I spelled incident right. Oh well. Um, and somebody got a black eye. Probably not so funny for them, but kind of cute and funny for us. Favorite thing that I watched or read. I'm not much of a book reader, so I didn't want to just leave it as like the favorite book that you read, because I may not have time to read a book, in a month. So I did that, and I think that for sure this one's gonna be that book that I read. It's called Anita de Montes Laughs Last. I think it's what it's called. Um, it was really good. I highly suggest it, and thank you to the person that suggested it to me. If you're not familiar with that artist, definitely check her out. Her actual name is Anna Mendieta. Very cool book. I cannot remember the name of the author. Xochitl, Xochitl Gonzalez, I think. I'm not gonna write it in because I can't remember and I have to look it up. But I want to say that was it. Best thing that I cooked or ate. The Moroccan seasoned carrots were pretty high on the list. They were good. Oh, this lamb gyro. Oh, that was good. But I also made that leek soup, and that was also pretty tasty. I'm gonna go with the leek soup. And favorite memory of the month. That's also a hard one. I think it's gonna have to be my son's green feet. It was just so funny when I saw them. So, yeah, I think this will be like a fun little series. Hopefully, I have enough pages. I can always double up if I start getting a little close to the end. But yeah, I think I'm going to start doing this at the end of every month, just like I said, to recap the month and pick some faves. So I hope that you have enjoyed this little tour. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you guys on the next video.